Hello everyone, I'm Suzie with Organize Zen, and today I'm here with Sharla of Blissful Escapes. Hello.
Hi.
The life of an entrepreneur endures many challenges and many triumphs, and today we're here to talk about all the things that happen in between. But I'm excited to bring to you Sharla and have a conversation today about making success happen. Let's talk empowerment, bliss, and grace.
Ooh, three of my favorite topics.
Sharla, can you tell me a little bit about your business?
Certainly. Blissful Escapes was founded in 2010, and it came out of a really tragic journey. My son was diagnosed with retinoblastoma and eye cancer, and during that time, I just realized that I was missing some self-care. I really needed a break just to reconnect with myself so I can just get some more strength to take care of him. And I thought, I can't be the only mama alone in this. And so I'm like, let's have a retreat. And so at the first retreat, we had 7 mamas, and we just had a gamut of different self-care facilitators come in, such as a nutritionist, a yoga instructor, meditation, to name a few.
Yeah, well, and I have personally been there, so it's an amazing experience. So can you tell me a little bit about what is the most gratifying aspect of those retreats?
I think watching those moms connect, it's going to bring tears to my eyes. There's just something about bringing women together that have a common bond, and especially when they're struggling, and just to know you're not alone, and that you can just help inspire each other, bring hope to each other. I think that's my favorite component when I watch that actually happen at the retreats.
Can you tell us a little bit about, you talked about momcology or something of that. Tell me a little bit more how this works.
Certainly. I did 4 years of retreats. I had amazing support along the way with facilitators donating their time, networking in the community, Portland community, and just there were so many people that was just really willing to help out. And at one point I knew in order for my business to grow, I would need to create a nonprofit. And every time I tried to create a board or would even begin to read the 501c3 documents that you have to submit, my mind went a little crazy.
Yeah.
And to me, that's a red flag that, you know what, maybe I'm not supposed to go down that road. But at the same time, these retreats were much needed, and I kept getting a green light that I'm supposed to keep doing it. And in January of 2013, I was like, okay, we're just going to do a fiscal sponsor with another cancer organization and become a program of them, or just do the fiscal sponsor and I'll run on my own. That year, I came across Momcology on Facebook, and I was blown away. They had created a 24/7 online system for moms to connect with each other, and I just felt this intense feeling that I needed to connect with them. And so I inboxed the person, whoever it was that I didn't know at the time, and I'm like, can we chat? I have something to share with you. And so we ended up, to make a long story short, we ended up having a 3-way conversation between Kim Buff, who is the founder of Momcology, and Mindy Spencer Dykes, who works for the Children's Cancer Research Fund in Minnesota. And we just realized what a great combination it would be if I could combine the efforts of what they're doing and vice versa. And so they flew out in January of this year to the retreat and attended as moms. They're both moms who have children that have been diagnosed with cancer.
Yeah. Something else I heard you talk about is you just have this intuitive ability to navigate your way through something that doesn't feel right, which is something that does.
Right. Well, I think part of it has to do with knowing yourself and doing soul work on yourself. And I had come to a place in my life when I began the journey in 2009 when Austin was diagnosed that I was fairly in tune with who I was, what made me tick, what made me happy, I think the more in tune you are with yourself and the more you can reach out and say, oh, was I defensive? You know, just being real and being brave to have those conversations, then it's easier to know that, oh, you know what? I need to step back from this decision as an entrepreneur and just wait and see if another door opens up. Because truly it should flow.
Yes, I agree. There should be an ease and a flow, and I've noticed that with, it's like when you're aligned, that kind of brings me to bliss. We were talking about that a little bit earlier. So bliss is when the time is right and you're in the right place. It helps if you're doing the right thing. Things are aligned. You're in that, what I call a freedom flow. It's like an effortless flow. Your work is completely inspired. It's not an effort. It just happens. And we just talked about bliss a little bit. Let's talk about grace and empowerment and how that comes into play with the retreats and your work and yourself, and how that guides you in your journey of success. Why those are so important.
Let's start with empowerment. It's really important for all of us to have our cheerleaders. Having a team of people in your life that do cheer you on and that do support you, and knowing who those people are, and when you are feeling low and crabby and discouraged, reach out to those people and just say, you know, I need some words of encouragement or whatever. Just ask for what you need.
There are people who can have a difficult time asking for help. Can you share on is that something that's natural to you, or did you have to work at that, asking for help?
I definitely had to work at it.
Okay.
I'm a very independent person, strong-willed, can be stubborn, but it also makes a great entrepreneur.
Exactly.
So recognizing those strengths in it. And the more I did it, the more I realized that it was easy and that things actually went better. And
You know what I found too is when I ask for help, when I'm in times of uncertainty, especially when I ask for help, it gives me that courage to take the leap.
yeah.
So we can show up and be brave and have that courage to do the things to shine our light in the way that we're really meant to shine it.
Correct.
What has been a challenging time in your business?
Okay, I can answer that. The lack of money.
Ugh.
And we all can attest to that. When you're an entrepreneur, it's
Thanks for being honest.
Absolutely.
That's so true. Yes.
And you know, I finally came to a place where I realized that in order to make my dreams come true, I had to let go of my ego and realize that I needed to work part-time to make some money to make my dreams come true.
Oh,
To change.
boy, that feels good, doesn't it?
You know, it doesn't. It feels empowering because now I'm working and I can pay bills and I can, you know, let money flow into my dreams. And then as that happens, your dreams grow, and then you can slowly let this part-time work go. And but it really was one of the best pieces of advice that was given to me as an entrepreneur, that if you're really challenged financially, that to just really step back from yourself and recognize your dreams will come true. You have to believe in that. It all comes down to it. If you have your family, if you have yourself, you know, if you're not married and you don't have a family, if you have your health and you have yourself and you're living your life and each day with moments of joy, that's truly what's important.
We were talking about that a little earlier too, about redefining success, because in so many eyes of what success means, it can look like a mansion and a bunch of toys and a beautiful closet of all the best clothes and shoes that we want, right? And traveling all over the world and not having to worry about anything. Who knows? I mean, there's just so many ideas of what success means. And recently I heard an entrepreneur express that the way that they measured success was the amount of fun that they had in their lives. And I thought that was really great. What are some ways that you kind of just described it actually, but can you go a little bit into how do you define success?
Well, speaking for myself, I think, well, I know for me, it's all about peace. It's peace and love. They're just the core of who I am. And if I can feel that in every fiber of my being, day in and day out, then I know I have succeeded in life. Because that will exude and reach out to everybody around me, and it will create a spark in their life. It will ignite them somehow. And I feel like that's what we're here to do. It's not for me, it's not about money. And the money will come if I'm doing my soul work and if I'm living to my true success.
Let's talk about how grace impacts success.
That's a really great question. It's actually one of my favorite words, and it's probably 15 years ago that word was something that I wanted to become, because it exemplifies to me when you live a life of grace, you can live in peace and you can live in love. It's about recognizing that we're all human and we all have strengths and we all have weaknesses, and when we can step back and just have grace for one another and ask questions and listen and realize that, you know what, we mess up too. And when you can do that, it just creates connection, it creates relationship, and it allows for growth to occur for both parties.
It's very healing.
Incredibly healing.
It's a loving energy. It's very healing. It is such a personal journey that we are experiencing in this world. And so grace, you described it so well, just very, very in simple terms, is that really grace allows us to forgive and also have compassion for ourselves and for others, and with that it's going to bring more connection and unity, and that's what we all need, because again, that's going to give us empowerment when we're supporting each other, and that in whole is making our worlds a better place.
Yes. For many of us entrepreneurs, we have children. They're just the light of our lives, and it plays an absolutely huge role in trying to balance out your work and your spouse and working out and just everything. And I try to pay attention to their hearts and their words. And when I hear from my littles, Mama, you've just been on the computer all day, or I don't know, something along that line, it clues me in that I'm not giving him the attention he needs, and I just set it aside.
Beautiful.
There's nothing more important.
What really comes through with you, Sharla, is faith and believing in your dreams. It's a knowingness. That's what I get from this conversation today, is having your dreams, not being afraid to dream, and then not worrying about the external factors of like the time frame, or if it's not going your way, if you got to get a job on the side. Knowing and believing and having faith that your dreams can come true. The journey just may not look the way you want it to, but it will happen in the way that your soul most needs to grow and show up in this world the way it's meant to.
The first thing you can do, there's really two avenues, and that's www.momcology.org. And you can also go to Facebook. We have a public page, and we also have private closed groups for the mamas. Blissful Escapes really comes into play when the moms are part of Momcology. It's our retreats for the moms. It's we've had 4 retreats in Oregon, and our national kickoff is in Danbury, Wisconsin, for the Minnesota moms in October.
Great.
We're seeking sponsors for these moms.
What kind of sponsors?
Well, this time we're having a few more moms than normal, and so we didn't get the space donated.
Okay.
And so between the space and the food, we're asking for $160 per mom for sponsorship. And if you're an entrepreneur, that would give you your logo on our new video. We would blast you out in our social media for the month of October as well.
Okay.
We are a 501c3, so you can write that off. And in the month of September, that is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and we'll be selling flags and bumper stickers and T-shirts and just promotional items, because we really want to promote the month of September as gold. The color gold is for childhood cancer.
Thank you again for watching. Tune in next time. Subscribe, tell your friends, and you can see more of these videos on YouTube at Organized Zen Living.